As members of leadership, I know that you expect your contributions, your membership, and all the other good things that you do for leadership, that they have an impact. And I think what you've seen this morning with the two videos and the presentation, that what we strive for through the rigorous process that we follow for grants is to make sure that every dollar that we spend has an impact. At the urging of His Eminence, going forward, we will strive at these conferences to present even more examples of where we do have an impact. And now let me introduce the Reverend Protopresbyter Nicolas Kazarian, who is a director of the Archdiocese Department that encapsulates those very attributes that we talked about earlier, the Department of Inter-Orthodox, Ecumenical, and Interfaith Relations. Please read his biography in the brochure. He has brought an international and academic aspect in becoming our ecumenical officer and the director with his impressive credentials, his recent election to the Central Committee of the World Council of Churches. He also serves as the parish priest of St. Eleftherios Church in New York City. It is my pleasure to present to you Reverend Protopresbyter Nicolas Kazarian.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Your Eminence, Reverend Fathers, dear Jim, dear Paulette, dear members of Leadership 100. I am not going to have videos, so it's only going to be the boring me. And I apologize for that in advance. But I want to once again share the words of thanks that were expressed by Deacon Nicolas for your presence, your generosity, but also your trust in what we do at the Archdiocese, in transforming your generosity into ministries, into an impactful ministry of our church. It is a great pleasure and honor for me to come before you today during this wonderful conference of Leadership 100 to speak about the mission, relevance, and future of the Department of Inter-Orthodox Ecumenical Interfaith Relations. I know it's a mouthful, and it doesn't fit on my business card, so I try to just do Ecumenical Officer. And I've had the pleasure of being the director of this department since October 2019, and I had big shoes to fill when Nick was brought to the Assembly of Bishops as Director of Operations, and I'm very grateful for all his collaboration throughout these years. The Ecumenical Department is tasked with fostering Orthodox unity in America, expanding the ecumenical quest for the reestablishment of unity and communion among Christians, developing interfaith cooperation, and advocating for the Church and the entire world in our society. The Ecumenical Department draws upon a spirit of outreach within the Orthodox Church and beyond, and its ethos of dialogue. And today, I would like to share some of the accomplishments and, more important, the projects supported by Leadership 100, which reflect the priorities set by His Eminence Archbishop Elpidophorus that will, we hope, shape the future of the Archdiocese. Deacon Nicolas just presented the inter-Orthodox dimension of our work, so allow me to focus on other aspects of our ministry. As we seek renewal, we must look critically at the scenes of our world and seek out remedies for the wounds they have left behind. In that vein, the department's Racial Reconciliation Initiative strives to recount with racial injustice in our nation and in our world, both past and present, and to bring knowledge of our faith to minority communities in America. In doing so, we draw on the legacy of Archbishop Iakovos as a champion of the civil rights movements. And it is based on this legacy that our work in other ecumenical bodies like the National Council of Churches or collaboration and relationship with other Christian denominations really embody the legacy of Archbishop Iakovos. When we are asked what is the opinion of the Orthodox Church with regard to racism, to injustices, we can point back to what Archbishop Iakovos did and what His Eminence Archbishop Elpidophorus has done, especially during the 2020 events and following the death of George Floyd. His Eminence has also appointed the Very Reverend Archimandrite Chrysostom Onyekakeya from Nigeria to lead the effort to share the Orthodox faith with African Americans and people of color. And he is not surprised to see him in Harlem on 125th Street in New York City to pass leaflet about the Orthodox Church and to do real mission work on the ground, meeting with people, speaking about Orthodoxy with them and inviting them to discover the richness, the wealth of our spiritual tradition. This Saturday, Father Chrysostom will start the first divine liturgy, monthly divine liturgy at St. Eleftherios Church, my humble parish, with a group of people that he has done the mission to gather around him. So Orthodoxy can be shared not only by speech, not only by meeting, but also through the means of the divine liturgy. And this is a very impactful experience to be able to share Orthodoxy through liturgy, and your generosity made that possible. The same is being done with the Spanish-speaking community, and in the meantime, with the help of Reverend James Cordaris, Director of the Department of Outreach and Evangelism, and Reverend Luc Veronis, Director for the Mission Institute of Orthodox Christianity, together with our consultant, Dr. George Kaloudis, we're exploring the various aspects of Orthodox mission in the country. During the 2022 Clergy Lady Congress, we had our first hearing and sharing of best practices, which are being now collected in one document and reviewed by our leadership. Phase 1 of this project is being completed as we speak. In our desire to lift up all voices within our church and world, the department, as a recognized NGO of the United Nations, is in coordination with a working group on girls, created and participated in Girl Delegates to the UN. This is a pilot program within our department in which middle school and high school girls from around the world, including some from our own archdiocese, drafted girls' statement which was read at the UN General Assembly and will be used in future international deliberation on girls' rights. While it remains in its infancy, the Girl Delegate program is expected to be expanded to more parishes and engage in various learning and activist opportunities at the UN. This is one of the grant proposals, by the way, we have submitted this year, so finger crossed. In the realm of ecumenical and inter-Christian relations, the ecumenical department is keenly aware of the pastoral and community implications of the Archdiocese's dialogue on and encounters with the Catholic Church, the Oriental Orthodox churches, the Anglican Communion, the Protestant churches in the United States. As such, the ecumenical department continues to deliberate with our colleagues on updating the ecumenical guidelines, which will be an invaluable resource for the clergy and the laity when engaging in ecumenical relations at the parish and local level, particularly for marriages and other sacraments of the Church. In that vein, our Archdiocese continues to work alongside our Oriental Orthodox brothers and sisters as we make progress on removing impediment to mutual participation in the lives of our churches. One of our most recent accomplishments was the ecumenical prayer service at St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church and National Shrine during the week of prayer for Christian unity. This prayer service was a unique opportunity to make our new national shrine a place where prayer and the quest for Christian unity become parts of its spiritual witness to the world. We were blessed by the participation of many ecumenical leaders, including His Eminence Cardinal Timothy Dolan, Archbishop of New York. Your support allows us to carry the voice of the Greek Orthodox Archdiocese of America to many, many ecumenical places where it wouldn't otherwise. From the National Council of Churches to Christian churches together, all the way up to the World Council of Churches, where I was recently elected as a member of the Central Committee. Our role is to build bridges with our fellow Christians, with our interfaith partners, and with the entire world. One of the ecumenical department's most relevant initiatives is the Greening the Parish initiative, which has taken up the pastoral and theological mandate and legacy set forth by our ecumenical patriarch Bartholomew with his decades-long commitment to creation care. It seeks to raise awareness and provide resources for parishes to take practical and theologically sound steps to become more environmentally friendly. Over the past 2 years, the Ecumenical Department has developed an extensive resource page with webinars, articles, and a series of 35 how-to videos that will lay the groundwork for a parish certificate program so parishes can receive support for the process of discerning, learning, implementing appropriate steps to green their parish. It is our hope that the certificate program that we are creating will provide a strong network for parishes to learn about the theology of creation care and best practices for its sound and sustainable implementation, or simply become part of good stewardship in our communities. We are also working on a project to raise awareness of environmental issues at our schools and Sunday schools by planting trees. We also supported the initiative of the Ecumenical Patriarchate in participating in the organization of the 2022 Halki Summit in Turkey last June. The Ecumenical Department has over the past 3 years developed a robust and vibrant internship program for undergraduate students to engage in and assist with the various responsibilities and initiatives of our department. We, as a department, find the internship program to be extremely valuable as it provides a space for young people to engage with their faith and its place in our world, and a space where their burning questions and creative ideas can be reckoned with a channel to serve our church. They are our best ambassadors. And we not only used a grant from leadership to support our internship program, but also got a grant from Fordham University. So every summer, we have one student from Fordham University coming to our department and spending 4, 6, 7 weeks with us and helping us out in our project. And as you can see, the Department of Inter-Orthodox Ecumenical and Interfaith Relations is tasked with much work within and outside our church. All of that work is grounded and inspired by our desire for renewal, which seeks to bring about a transfiguration of our world and our common objective of unity in Christ, His church, and with all creation. With such a legacy and such inspiration, we remain confident in our mission to seek encounters and dialogues with our neighbor for the life of the world. And as we come together today, during this beautiful conference of Leadership 100, it is clear that the work and mission of the Ecumenical Department will become, in fact, have already become, a mandate to be taken up not only at the archdiocesan level, but at the parish and community level as well. And while there is much to be done, the work of our departments begins and ends with each and every one of us who, as Orthodox Christians, are called to welcome the stranger into our midst, defend the vulnerable, and live in and with Christ, so that the whole world may see and be brought to union with Him. Thank you for your generosity, thank you for your support, and thank you for your patience during this presentation.